Hello guys, welcome to my channel. This is Isaac Simple and Real. Thank you for tuning into my channel. Kindly, if you have not yet subscribed to my channel, kindly subscribe, like and share. This is a channel where we should talk about averting HIV and sexually transmitted infection stigma in our society. And we usually say that being positive about HIV is not necessarily being HIV positive. Thank you. Today we'll be starting with a recap. In our previous live video, we started by discussing the life cycle of the HIV virus, and this will help us in starting our new discussion today of the classification of the ARV drugs. So, begin. The life cycle usually have at least 6 phases. And phase 1 is the binding and fusion phase, whereby the viral glycoprotein binds with the CD4 cell receptor. And in the process, the virus releases its genetic material, that is the RNA, into the CD4 T lymphocyte cell. The second phase involves the reverse transcription, whereby the virus releases reverse transcriptase enzyme, which converts the viral RNA into a double-stranded DNA. The third phase in the life cycle of the HIV virus is the integration phase, whereby the newly formed viral DNA is integrated with the host cell DNA, either the ribosomal DNA or the nucleus DNA, using the integrase enzyme. The fourth phase, we usually call it the transcription phase, whereby the host cell releases an enzyme called the RNA polymerase enzyme, which breaks down the viral DNA into messenger RNAs, and it helps them to form long-chain viral proteins. And in the fifth phase, we call it the assembly phase, whereby the virus releases an enzyme called protease enzyme, which breaks down the long chains of messenger RNA, or the long chains of viral proteins, into short chains, which are combined with viral RNA inside the host cell. And the last phase, we call it the binding phase, which is the last phase of the viral life cycle. It's called the binding phase, whereby this combined combination of viral protein and the RNA strand forms bands inside the host cell. And with the rupture of the host cell, they obtain parts of the cell membrane of the host cell to form the envelopes of now the new HIV viral particles. Are we together up to this point? Thank you. Now, that's the summary of the life cycle of the HIV virus. Now, in the classification of ARVs, we have such kind of classification depending on the phase of the life cycle the drug is intervening. To start with, let me start with the first phase, which we called the fusion and binding. In the fusion and binding, we have a class of drug which we call the CCR5 antagonist. CCR5 are co-receptors of the HIV virus, which are inside the CD4 or the CD4 T lymphocyte cell. They are part of the receptors. And then we have the CD4 receptor. So we have the CCR5 antagonist, which also called by other people fusion inhibitor drugs. And the example of these drugs, we have the ibalizumab, we have the maraviroc, and then we have the fostemsavir. Are we together? So we have said we have the maraviroc, we have the ibalizumab, and we have the fostemsavir. So these are the class of drugs which inhibit the fusion of the virus with the CD4 receptor and the co-receptors. Are we together? Thank you. Now, we go to the second class of drugs. And is the second, we have in this phase, the second phase of the life cycle of HIV virus, we have two classes of drug interruption. We have the nucleotide reverse transcriptase inhibitors, and we have the non-nucleoside reverse transcriptase inhibitors. We said in the second phase of the HIV life cycle is whereby the RNA strand of the virus is converted using the reverse transcriptase enzyme into the double-stranded viral DNA. Are we together? Thank you. So to interfere with this reverse transcription, we have the enzyme inhibitor or these two classes of drugs. Let's start with nucleotide reverse transcriptase inhibitors. Examples of nucleotide reverse transcriptase inhibitors, we have the tenofovir, we have the abacavir, and I have started with these two because this vir, you'll find it in another class, so do not confuse them. And there are only these two in this class. The other ones end with in, like lamivudine, zidovudine, we have the stavudine, we have the emtricitabine. Are we together? So this class of nucleotide reverse transcriptase inhibitors ends with in, except two, that is abacavir and tenofovir. The other class that is also within this phase of the HIV virus, we have the non-nucleoside reverse transcriptase inhibitors. And their examples, we have the efavirenz, then we have the nevirapine, and we have the dapivirine. So this class ends with NE, nevirapine, we have the dapivirine, but except for the efavirenz, which ends with Z. So for the non-nucleoside reverse transcriptase inhibitors, kindly note on that for your memory. Then we go to another class of drugs, which we call the integrase inhibitors. And this one happens in the third phase of the HIV life cycle, which we call the integration phase. Remember? So in the integration phase, we said the virus releases an enzyme called the integrase enzyme, which helps the viral DNA to be integrated with the host cell DNA so that they can be able to hide inside the host cell. Remember? So we have an ARV drug class that helps to interfere with the process of the integration of this kind of the virus DNA. And these are called integrase inhibitors. Examples of integrase inhibitors, we have the dolutegravir, we have the raltegravir. As you have noted, they end with gravir, gravir, gravir. Are we together? Thank you. Now, we have another class of ARV drugs which we call the protease inhibitors. This class of drugs, it happens, is the fifth phase of the HIV life cycle. So, in this fifth phase, as we had said earlier, there is breaking down of the long chain of viral proteins into short chains so that they can be able to be combined with the viral RNA to form the viral particle. Remember that? In the process of the formation of viral particle. So this enzyme inhibitor or this class of drugs prevent the breakdown of long chain of viral proteins so that the process can be interfered with and there is no progression or there is no formation of viral particles. Are we together? Thank you. And the class of drug involves the lopinavir, the ritonavir, the atazanavir, the saquinavir, the idinavir. So these are just the examples of the protease inhibitors. In short, we call them the PIs. Are we together? Thank you. So kindly remember that the PIs ends with vir, vir, vir. Saquinavir, amprinavir, ritonavir, lopinavir, atazanavir. Remember? Thank you. So this comes to the end of classification of antiretroviral drugs which are normally used in the HIV management. So if you have any kind of comment, any kind of clarification, kindly drop it in the comment section and we are going to appreciate. And if you have not subscribed to my channel, kindly subscribe, like and share. This is Isaac Simple and Real. Thank you and God bless you. Bye bye.